For a minute there, I thought I was at resident council. Wow, really? Resident council. Thank you all for showing up today. This means a lot to me. I wasn't sure how many of you would show up, but I'm very happy to see all of you here. Very, very happy. Are you, Jose, are you talking to me? They're not working. IT? 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 Thank you, sir. Okay. There's a lot of people here. Come on in. We've got room for you. All right. Not yet? Yay, okay. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. All right. Well, welcome. As it was announced last month, the Wesley Willows organization has grown. We have acquired Highview in the Woodlands, small little assisted living memory care in the Rockton, Illinois area. Anyone familiar with this community? Oh, a lot of you are. It's in a beautiful setting, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Highview in the Woodlands is a 62-bed assisted living memory care community. Highview in the Woodlands, their board approached one of my board members back in December of 2023, right before Christmas, and asked if we would consider a partnership, an affiliation. I have notes. So I got this fancy writing pad, but downside of it is it goes to sleep and I have to enter my password again. That's 1 point for pen and paper. All right, so we were presented back December 2023. I brought it to the attention of my executive board. We all thought, well, I have been talking about introducing assisted living memory care services to this campus because we don't offer that. We have the Memory Wellness Program that's Monday through Friday, and we have Kirk's Place, which is in the skilled center, the healthcare center. We were missing that middle component, the assisted living component. So naturally, when this opportunity was presented, I brought it up to my board. Several meetings later, we wanted to hear a little bit more about Highview in the Woodlands. Show us, we did our due diligence process. What was important for me and my board is, what kind of community are you? Are you owned by a for-profit? Are you part of a larger organization? Are you a faith-based? And we were very pleasantly surprised that Highview in the Woodlands, standalone community since 1904, 501c3, which is exactly the same IRS designation that we have here at Wesley Willows, which simply means we're not-for-profit. Our missions are aligned. They provide services to the elderly, to the aging. Here's their mission statement. Thank you, Jenny. And our mission statement is to promote active, secure lifestyles for seniors through ongoing personalized care. Well, ongoing personalized care, we were missing that assisted living memory care component. I was having a side conversation with my friends over here, Lois and Dorothy, and they said, you should tell them how many residents are being discharged on a yearly basis, which is why I was very passionate about securing an assisted living memory care for this campus. On average, we discharge 8 to 13 residents from Wesley Willows because we cannot provide the assisted living memory care services that they need. And one of the main things that we focus on, our mission, is to make sure that your needs are being met, that you're safe and secure. We weren't able to meet everyone's needs because, again, we didn't have that assisted living memory care component. Highview in the Woodlands does, and they're about, 9 miles north from here, guys, right? So about a 15-minute drive, unless you're someone like Brett over there, you get there in 10 minutes. So it's not too far. Again, fast forward 9, 10 months later, we got into the weeds with Highview and the Woodlands, our board, their board, and we asked, why? Well, their board of trustees govern just like our board of trustees, except that they did not do succession planning, much like our board of trustees did when they were looking to do succession planning for the COO, the CFO, and the CEO, Bill, Deb, and Mark Tickner. They did not do that. They got through COVID and they really got into trouble with census. Their CEO, God bless her, is there for 25 years. She just celebrated her 80th birthday party, her 80th birthday. So again, the succession planning wasn't there. So the good news is that we said, well, it's a small community. We have about 30 residents. It's about the size of Hunt Terrace. So it's just an extension of Wesley Willows offering the services that we don't have here. And someone asked me earlier today, are you gonna force us to go to Highview in the Woodlands if we have to? Of course not. You're not in prison. You have the choice to go to whichever assisted living memory care community that you would like to, okay? What's nice about having acquired Highview in the Woodlands is we can now guarantee that you can stay within the Wesley Willows community. Let's say one of you needs assisted living memory care services. You go to Highview in the Woodlands. You're progressing through dementia process, and now Katie Kinson and her team determined that Mrs. Jones needs a higher level of services that we don't offer here now at Highview. You get transferred back to Kirk's Place then. So you come back home here. Oh, you're gonna be home regardless. We're one community. One community. So that said, I just wanted to share some of the statistics with you as to why the need presented itself. I have been working over the past year, some of you have heard me share this at the resident council meetings, that we engaged Plant Moran almost 2 years ago now, and they completed their market feasibility study, their data assessment, and we got those results in May of this year, where they said, oh yeah, there's going to be a huge need for assisted living memory care, and the number's only going to grow given the size of this campus. So we were brainstorming, the team and I were brainstorming ideas. Well, how can we create and build our own assisted living here on campus? Can we repurpose some of the healthcare center? That building's pretty outdated as it is. And we got to talking, well, how much do we think that's going to cost? And so on and so forth. And then this opportunity presented itself. Some of you asked me, and recently when I announced this, well, Francis, how much did this cost you? How much did you pay? Well, we affiliated with them. Being a 501c3 not-for-profit, being a standalone community, nobody owns them. So we simply affiliated with them. What does that mean? Highview and the Woodlands Board of Trustees were replaced with Wesley Willows Board of Trustees. Okay? Their CEO was replaced by me. And it's no secret, Katie Kinson is no longer my executive assistant. I now have Jenny Freisach. Thank you, Jenny, keeping me on my toes here. And I was so excited to be able to promote Katie to be our assistant director of that community, and she's doing a fantastic job. We closed on this deal October 10th. It's about a month, and It's already been positive. The family members from Highview and the Woodlands received us with open arms and said, Wesley Willows has a great reputation. We're very happy that, we're now part of the Wesley Willows family. They also, the employees as well, very happy. They go, oh, this is great. We were worried we might not have a job much longer. It's kind of how it was looking. And of course, the team and I, is Leslie here? Leslie over there? Love you, Leslie. She's identified over the years past, the last year or so, that we have this need. We have residents here in the healthcare center, right, Leslie, who we are ready to discharge to either the Lincolnshires, the TLCs, or the Anthem Cares. Well, guess what? Now we can offer them a place at Highview in the Woodlands, and they can stay within our family. And that's a good feeling.
Are the prices, do they meld so they're about the same?
The question asked, are the prices the same? For the 30 residents that are there now, because remember we affiliated, so Highview in the Woodlands continues to operate the way it's operating, and their contracts by law we still have to honor. Okay, I can share this with you. All of their residents are private pay. They don't have any entrance fees, so we didn't inherit any large liabilities. And that is a good thing. This community on Falcon Drive in Rockton, Illinois, was built 25 years ago, so it's relatively new for a building. To their credit, to the prior CEO and their board of trustees, they put a lot of money into the big items, brand new roof, their sprinkler systems, brand new as well. So I had Brandon and some of our facilities guy go evaluate how much is this gonna cost? Is it completely, in shambles? And it wasn't. It was all cosmetic, which we're doing now. A lot of it, they couldn't afford a professional landscaper. So they had one of their employees cutting the grass. It's a small community, we're on 6 acres, but that's a lot. It didn't look anywhere near the way it looks here. Again, easy fix. Got our guys, we removed the dead trees, the landscaping, small, looked great. The community outside looks good. We're looking at paint jobs and just, taking down one wall here, offering nicer services so that their dining experience could be a little bit better. Small things like that. So again, not a lot of capital involved. And when I put the numbers together, okay, well, we have to pay some of their debt off. All right, how much is that? Oh, it's not that much. Well, it was $1.4 million. But do you think I can build something for $1.4 million? No, you can't. I'll tell you right now, you can't. So I've gotten, when I said we were trying to build our own, the numbers were tens of millions of dollars. So again, the nice thing about being a not-for-profit, 501c3, we just replaced their board of trustees and their CEO. I got my leadership team in there, and we are managing 30 residents right now. We do have a sales counselor. Does anyone remember Natalie Armstrong?
Yes.
Is she here? Natalie, stand up. She's back. Natalie is our sales counselor at Highview in the Woodlands. And I hear you already got someone. Good job, you just started. Way to go. So again, we're putting our Wesley Willows spin on it, our procedures, our processes, small community. It's gonna complement our Wesley Willows community very nicely because it offers a product that we don't have.
You didn't finish my question.
Yes.
When you talked about them, when we go there,
Mhm.
our price change.
So,
If we have to.
you're in one of our suites right now?
Pardon me?
You're in the suites. If you were to move to the Arbor, do you think your monthly fee would change?
Probably, yeah.
Yes, same concept.
So when you go there, it's like.
Same concept, right. You're welcome. Okay. All right, so with that said, I know there's questions. One at a time, single file. Okay. Yes?
I'm not personally familiar with Highview in the Woodlands, but I would assume that there is a somewhat different culture up there than here at Wesley Willows. Do you have plans of melding the two corporate cultures
I
together?
love that question. Do I have plans of melding the culture, the Wesley Willows culture with the Highview and the Woodlands culture? Absolutely. Our culture is going to be their culture now. They, just like with Peterson Meadows, same culture, same leadership team. I trust my team, and like I said, it's only been a month, and I'm already happy with the progress, the feedback I'm getting from the residents at Highview and the Woodlands. Yes, Sylvia.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
With the question that the lady had up there, if we would go from where we are now, and we would have to go over to assisted living or whatever, our financial monthly bill would jump to like $2,000. What would it be over at the Woodlands?
If Sylvia were to move, Katie, if Sylvia were to move from her home here at Wesley Willows, because she needs now services at Highview in the Woodlands, would her fee go up, and how much? I'm putting her on the spot. I don't mean to.
I would say it depends on the level of care, if we're looking at it on a resident by resident basis.
So would it compare to over here?
Okay, I can answer that, because Brett already gave me the answer. Sorry, Katie, should have prepared you for that one.
I'm ready.
Baptized by fire, I told her. My whole team knows I do that already. So Brett, when he was looking at the numbers, what their fees are, it's equivalent to being at Hunt Terrace, right? Similar pricing to Hunt Terrace, and Katie did bring up a good point. Depends on the level of service. You need, you at Arbor, I think you have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, right? Dana shaking her head. So same concept. Dr. Zimmerman?
Could you describe the features that would allow you to recommend that people go to assisted living? And again, the features to leave that assisted living level and come back to Hunt Terrace? What kind of services, you said that service is missing now in our system.
Right.
What sorts of services are we talking about?
So Leslie can probably answer this question better than me, but I was a student of Leslie. Let me see if I can do that question some justice. So Dr. Zimmerman asked, what services does Highview in the Woodlands offer for those needing assisted living memory care? And right off the bat, it depends on where you're at in the progression process. One of the main things about the assisted living memory care model is that if you're an elopement risk, there's security 24/7, and then there's special programming depending on what stage you're in the dementia process. If you're in stage 4 or 5, the programs are different, and I can tell you it's different than an activities program because they're offered Monday through Saturday. We're hoping to have that 7 days a week once the team gets their hands on the programming part of it. But there's programs from sunrise to kind of after dinner, right? That's the goal. Thank you. Do you want to add anything, Leslie? Oh, I get an A+. Dr. Zimmerman, if you have more.
For example, I guess
Yeah.
maybe another way of asking the same question is, if 13 people are discharged from here because they're not being able to
Mhm.
be cared for at this time, what do they need that is available there that will allow that service to
Sure.
take the people from here?
The one main thing that I could think of is they need a secure building.
I see.
They need a secure building. Many times, and Leslie, you should probably get up here. Sometimes when you start the dementia process, as you progress into the various stages that Leslie's going to share, you start thinking, oh, I need to go home. I need to go pick up my kids from school, so you think you're in your 20s, you needing to go pick up your children from school, so you start exiting through the door, looking for your car to go pick up your kids from school. That's just an example. I'm gonna pass this to the expert.
Student of, but thank you. Yeah, so you do ask an important question, Dr. Zimmerman. What I was impressed by about Highview in the Woodlands is it's a smaller, intimate facility. It's all one level. One thing that I know about the Arbor is it's 2 different levels, and it can get really repetitive in the environment. So it's easy to get a little disoriented if you're not well-oriented to begin with, depending on what stage you're at in your dementia. So Highview has a more straightforward layout, and it is secured, so it's gated. The courtyard is gated. I know at one point we had security on the doors, so I'd have to defer to Katie regarding that. But that's the best part of it, is we have more eyes, more ears on your location, depending on your elopement risk and the stage of dementia that you're currently in.
And there will be a nursing service?
Yep, nursing is on site.
Nursing
Yes.
station,
Yep,
24 hours?
24 hours, yep.
Okay.
Are the apartments like ours, you have a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, or are they just there?
Yep, so the question was, are the apartments 1 or 2 bedroom? They are both.
Oh.
Is that right, Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Any memory wellness related questions?
You're doing great.
You good? Okay. Yes.
People that already live at Highview, is there, the charges, are they gonna be the same? Or-
That's a good question. I'll defer that question. Are the charges going to stay the same for the current residents at Highview? The answer is yes from our CEO. Yes. Yes.
Will we be able to go up there and see what it's like, actually go in there and visit the place?
The question is, will you be able to go visit and see what it's like? The answer is yes. If you'd love to go tour, Katie is open to that. I'm sure Natalie as well. We'll show you around. Yes.
Is it still divided into where the 2-bedroom or the 2 bedrooms are and the other section? Because when I was out there with my brother-in-law, the memory care was only one half of it. Are you saying that the whole thing will be strictly memory care?
So there's assisted living and then there's memory care.
So
So
you're gonna leave it the way it's been set up?
I believe so, yes. Yep, so there's,
There are 2 bedrooms in the memory care?
I don't believe there are 2 bedrooms in the memory care, just one?
There are some conjoining rooms, however, for
Okay.
couples that want to stay together.
Okay, so married couples can be in the conjoining rooms. It looks like, or sounds like there's a couple of those. But, so if you're trying to picture it in your mind, think of one hallway of the Arbor on one side, and then something similar to Kirk's Place on the other, all offering memory care services. Okay. Yes, Myrna.
Who will determine and how will you determine who goes there and supposed to stay there?
Sure, so the question is, who and how are you determining who can go over to Highview or who qualifies for Highview? It's gonna be a culmination of clinical services, doing the nursing assessments to see what your physical and clinical needs are, as well as that memory wellness component. What is your current cognition level? What stage are you at in your dementia? So it'll be a kind of a holistic approach.
It's no different than how we assess the health.
Yeah. Exactly, yep, so my team, Memory Wellness, and all of Katie's nursing team will be on your side guiding you through. Yep, just like we do here, yes.
How full is the facility now? And how do you then take that full facility and integrate it with our units that need that facility? Those people are already there, what do you do?
Sure, yep, so the question is, what is the current capacity at Highview? It's about 50% occupancy. Yep, so 50%, yep, so they have.
Plenty of room for all of you.
Yes, I'm sorry, did that answer your?
Yes,
Okay,
that
yeah.
was an important comment.
Yeah, yeah, yes, Myrna.
And what is
So,
compared to ours.
Yeah.
There are 18 of them.
so the question is, what is the rate of releasing residents from Highview to other facilities? So Francis did mention we lose anywhere from 8 to 14 of our own residents to places like Lincolnshire. As far as how Highview is operating in that way, I'm not entirely sure. It sounds like they all aged in place. There wasn't any discharge of those residents. But at this point, we are determining which residents currently there may benefit from Kirk's Place, right?
And what features of their illness
Mhm.
will then cause you to transfer people back to
Sure.
Kirk's Place or other full-fledged places?
Yeah, so the question is, what characteristics would those residents qualify for in coming back to Wesley Willows from Highview? So again, think of Highview as that assisted living setting. Once they need additional skilled nursing care, beyond just the memory care component, beyond just the assisted living component, then we would consider maybe Kirk's Place or the health center.
More like physical illness.
Yes, yep, to the point where they're beyond maybe stages 6 and 7, so the later 2 stages of dementia, and they need more of that physical support and less of that cognitive stimulation. So they wouldn't necessarily benefit from the curriculum.
Right there.
Oh, yes.
Maybe you answered this, but are there vacancies for memory care at Highview, and do we have vacancies?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now we have 3 to 5 open rooms in Kirk's Place. Most of them are Medicaid certified beds. Over at Highview, they're at half capacity in both sides. So,
Are
yes.
people, when you fill up, are people put on a waiting list? Or what do you do when people, you don't have rooms and they need to be in one of the memory care?
Sure, so the question is, when we're full, what do we do then? Yeah, a wait list is a good problem to have. So we're absolutely open to building that wait list, and again, going through who truly qualifies for what programs and what lifestyle. So again, it'll be a holistic, multi-departmental approach. Yes,
Do they qualify for Good Samaritan Fund?
that's a good question.
That's my question.
Do the 30 residents at Highview qualify for the Good Samaritan Fund? They do not. But if any of you move in to Highview in the Woodlands, you do. Okay?
Okay, anything else memory wellness related? Yes.
I have a question. I have friends, a couple, and they're looking to transition into a facility where she would have just basic, assisted living, just maybe some assistance with medications or whatever, but he's gonna need memory care. Does this provide for a couple that have 2 different levels like that?
Sure,
I
so.
wanna be sure I tell her.
Yeah, so the statement is, she has 2 friends, the wife needs maybe more assisted living, and the husband needs more of that skilled memory care. I can't honestly think of a better place than Highview for them to be under the same roof. They would have 2 different lifestyles, 2 different bedrooms, but they could still interact with one another and receive the care that they need. Yes?
Do you think now, if there's only half of the capacity, that probably means there's less than 100% of potential needed nursing service personnel? Will there be problems hiring those?
Not that I can anticipate. We've been on quite a hiring boost ourselves with our own health center. So I would assume we would apply the same efforts to Highview once that census ramps up.
One other question. Will Brandon then have another quarter or a third of himself cut off and have to serve somebody else?
I'll let Brandon answer that afterward. Yes, hi.
Can you do a quick explanation explanation, what's the difference between what Highview in the Woodlands offers and what's at Hunt Terrace? I'm a little
Sure.
confused about what the difference is there.
Yeah, so there are similarities between the two. With Hunt Terrace, it is a secured unit. We have 36 beds there. One side of Highview has 36 beds and the other, I believe, has close to 30. 26? Okay. So similar situations. Now the issue is Hunt Terrace, since we've reopened it just a couple months ago, we're really 3 to 5 beds away from being full. And that's just meeting the needs of the residents who have needed Hunt Terrace that kind of came out of the woodwork because we didn't have that space open. So now we want to make sure we're not always at capacity and can't meet the other people's needs who might need that. So now we have this backup and we're very excited about it. It's a great question though.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
The staff over there, the nursing and doctor will be there, are they all specially trained in memory care and assisted living situations?
So the question is all the clinical staff over there, including nurse practitioners, floor nurses, are they all trained in memory care services? As the acting director of memory wellness, I have a pretty intense 12-hour dementia care training curriculum that I put my staff through. So I'm looking forward to collaborating with Katie and Dana. I know they are just getting their feet wet. So once they have a firm stance on where their staff are at, what they're gonna need for training, I'm ready to ramp that up, so, yeah.
What about the food?
Oh, the food. I love that question.
Francis addressed that.
I can't particularly answer that, but I'm sure it's good.
It's gonna have, of course.
Okay, of course it's gonna be good. Okay, anything else for memory wellness? All right, I'm gonna hand the baton back. Thank you all for your questions.
Isn't she amazing? I learned so much from her about dementia and the various stages. Yes, ma'am.
Do they have their own chaplain?
Oh, good question. They do not, because they were not faith-based, but they did have family members who were bringing in their chaplains, at least according to what the former CEO shared with me. However, our chaplains are going to be out there, especially if they're following any of our residents here when they move over there. Absolutely.
Both of the chaplains?
Your preference. I have a lot of residents who prefer Chaplain Allen or Chaplain Seth, and we might even look at having someone else part-time, but I'll let Allen, who's the director of that department, come up with those needs as they come up. Right now, no one has asked me for a chaplain. Katie, have you been asked about a chaplain?
We have not, but I've already had Alan out to tour, and we're working with him on
Look at
bringing
that.
high standard at Wesley Willows to Highview as well.
I'm not sure if everyone heard Katie's comment. The current residents have not asked for chaplain services, but Katie proactively asked that Alan go and tour the area and come up with ideas that might benefit the Highview and the Woodlands community, because Wesley Willows, we are a Christian faith-based organization, and that's going to transfer over to Highview and the Woodlands as well. Yes?
Couples will be split up probably, with one going over there for assisted living while the other person stays here. I would assume that you're going to have more frequent transportation between the two.
Great question, Mr. Barrett, who just joined our family here not too long ago. The question was, if the spouses are split and someone needs Highview and the Woodlands services, will we be increasing our transportation services? I would say it would be on a needs base. I don't see why not. I have anyone from transportation. Okay. We will make sure that loved ones are able to visit their spouses or loved ones at Highview. Lloyd?
Will current life enrichment people be involved there?
Will current life enrichment folks be involved up there?
In the same way that, they
Right.
are at,
So,
Peterson Meadows.
sure, as Leslie stated, Peterson Meadows is independent living, and Highview in the Woodlands is assisted living specifically for dementia care services, so they need a different type of life enrichment staff there, which, as Leslie mentioned earlier, she is doing her analysis, and I'm sure the program is gonna be very similar to, the standards that we expect here at Wesley Willows. I saw another hand over here. Oh, I answered your question, wonderful. Yes, ma'am? How are we paying off this 1.4 million? Brett, do you want to take a stab at that? We pay cash. So, no, honestly, that's a great question because, I know that that's something that came up when Peterson Meadows was purchased. And Peterson Meadows was a purchase. Highview in the Woodlands, again, we just took them over. We could have continued with the debt, but the bank wanted it paid off, so we used our cash to pay it.
Good job.
Lloyd?
Will their administration, their residence numbers and so forth be included in the material that you talk about here as part of the total, and put in the annual report?
So the question is, will I include the census updates for Highview in the Woodlands as I do with Peterson Meadows and Wesley Willows? I can if you want me to. It's such a small community, but of course, we're gonna be pitching that, we're gonna be sharing with you the steps to successes. Right now, again, it's only been a month, and I'm very proud of my team here. They're already done a fantastic job at turning that community around, but it takes time. So we will be keeping you updated accordingly. Any other questions? Okay, yes?
I just wanted to say, my brother-in-law was there about 10 to 12 years ago. And I was so impressed with the place, and he was so happy. He felt independent, but he was secure. And they had so many activities and so many nice things going on. And the way they treated the patients, and I know if it's Wesley Willows that owns that, they would do that too. So I have highly recommend, I mean, we looked all over town for the right place for him, and that was it.
Thank you. Just positive comments about an experience that she had at Highview in the Woodlands. And someone asked if we'd be able to go offer some tours. And I think that's a great idea, but I do know that Katie wants to spiffen up the place first before we have any tours. It's cosmetic, a lot of painting, a lot of decorating and things like that. But we will offer tours, maybe an open house for some of you to go and visit. Yes, ma'am?
I was gonna ask, how are you gonna handle that, but obviously you're not ready to answer that question.
Not yet, yeah. All right, sir?
Question.
Sure.
Does your audited once every 5 years?
We're audited every year.
Every year?
Mhm.
Will this group then become part of that audit?
Yes. Great question. Will Highview in the Woodlands become part of the annual audit? They will. Right now, they're on the same fiscal year that we are, which is kind of nice. We like that. And we're going to be using our auditors, of course, just to save money. And I could share with you, they received a clean opinion, so that's something else that we looked at during our due diligence process. Yeah, of course. Lloyd, you're going to be capped at 10 questions.
I recently saw advertising for Highland in the Woodlands. Is that part of the Wesley Willows activity, or was that bought before the purchase?
That is actually a good question. So Lloyd is asking, did we already start advertising for Highview in the Woodlands? No. They have a contract for these commercials, so someone else said, oh, I saw a commercial, it's 5 in the morning, and Melissa and the marketing team are looking at advertising to promote, obviously, all 3 communities. Yeah. Okay. I'm still gonna hang around, but if you have any questions, I was gonna ask Miss Katie Kinson if she wanted to come up and share anything.
Sure, I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were one of my staff members. I love it. We're hiring. We're hiring.
Francis, I just have a question. I just wanted to know, like, we volunteered more and more in different places. Do their staff then get the same discount as their staff does here?
I haven't thought about that
What was the
thoroughly.
question?
So the question is, our staff here get a discount at Decor and More? Will we be extending that discount to the Highview and the Woodlands employees? Because Peterson Meadows comes over here. Honestly, it's such a small number of staff. I don't see a problem with that. Where's Rick? I know he's trying to get rid of some of that stuff in there. Rick? There he is. You're gonna have more clients. Sylvia?
Okay, what's that? Oh, are there gonna be any, down the road, not today, but any literature for us to take to our families so they know all about this?
I love that question. Are we gonna have any literature available for you to take to your loved ones and your families? Yes, we are gonna be working at putting something together, and did Melissa leave? There she is. Melissa's currently working on something for that. Again, it's only been 4 weeks,
Yeah.
so when you're ready to share that, you'll be sharing it with everyone, maybe at a resident council meeting. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Katie Kinson, new assistant director. I'm so proud of her.
Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness, I've only been away for a month yesterday, and it just feels like forever because I just hold Wesley Willow so near and dear. I've been coming to this campus every day for 3 years, and while the new campus is very close to my house, which is really nice for me, I just miss all of you so much. I've built so many close relationships with so many of you over the last few years, and the amount of support that I have felt from not only all of you, but my team and Francis. Thank you, Francis, for allowing me to have this great opportunity. So it has been a wild ride for me. I've been learning a lot. Francis taught me so much before I went, but
I wanna say we're really happy to have you back, too.
thanks, Marla.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it was a great welcoming. I know, yep, I'm bored. No, I'm just kidding. But it has been so much fun for me. It's been challenging, of course. We're not gonna go in there and start making changes day one. That doesn't make any sense at all. This is something that we need to build. And this team has been coming together since, oh my goodness, so many months now. We've been prepping for this. So we feel very prepared. And I get to live and breathe Highview every single day. It is so good. I am so excited for what the future of this organization is gonna be. We're growing, and I understand why there are so many questions and probably some concerns out there, but just come visit it sometime. We'll put together maybe an open house, and I'm so happy to extend the welcome to all of you here. I know Rick and Pam have already been out to visit me, and I toured them, so that was great. It really is such a great new facility that we have. It was a no-brainer. Once you go out there and see it yourself, I think that you'll all understand too. It's gonna take a little bit of time to build up the programs, build up the services, but once we get there, it's gonna be that same white glove experience that people expect when they hear the name Wesley Willows, and we have a new community. This is great. Sure, up front, it's gonna seem like we're sharing a lot of staff, we might be sharing a little bit of resources, but again, that's just what you have to do when you build. Once we get it built up and fully staffed and looking and feeling how we want it to, it's gonna be such a great extension of this community and that you might have to utilize one day. And so I'm just excited to keep on keeping on, and we're gonna get there, so. Yes, Bob.
This is not related to the Highview and the Woodlands and Belvedere and, that's another thing.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Well, but it's similar name.
His wife's telling them no, don't.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
When we go, will we see you there?
I would hope so.
Wow. Team, my team, anything else we want to share? We covered it all? All right, we're going to stick around if you have any more questions, okay? Thank you. There's still coffee and goodies out there.
I just